Hello, fourth grade, and welcome to lesson 4-5. Here we're going to talk about area models again and partial products. Both of these concepts we've worked with, and they're both strategies that we've used to help solve larger multiplication problems before. Let's go ahead and watch our lesson video, and then we'll get started with our guided practice and notes.
How can you use the distributive property to multiply? There are 15 players on each baseball team of the Strikeout Club. There are 25 teams. How many players are on all the teams in the Strikeout Club? Use the area model and the distributive property to find 25 times 15. The area of the rectangle is the product of 25 times 15. Break apart 15 into 10 plus 5. Multiply each part by 25. Add the partial products. 25 times 15 equals 375. You can break up the area model in a different way. Break apart 25 into 20 plus 5. Add the partial products. 25 times 15 equals 375. You can also break apart both factors. What is the sum of the partial products?
Select your answer.
"25 times 15 equals 375. There are 375 players on all the teams.
All right, now that we've gone through our video, now one of the things that you guys learned from the video that we didn't do before was that the distributive property will actually give you the ability to break apart both factors, not just one. In previous examples, when we worked with it, we usually broke apart one, not both. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at our notes before we jump into our guided practice. For our notes, area models and partial products. Remember, area models and arrays are both ways to multiply larger numbers by breaking them apart using the distributive property, finding the partial products, and then adding them together. So the example that I gave you here is 12 times 24. Now I have 12 on this side that I broke apart into 10 plus 2, right? And 24 on this side, which is the same thing as 20 plus 4. So I did my 10 times 20 in here. I did my 10 times 4 over here, my 2 times 20 down here, and then my 2 times 4 in here. So 2 times 10 gave me 200. I wrote it out there. 10 times 4 was 40. Or sorry, 10 times 4 was 40. 2 times 20 was also 40. And then 2 times 4 was 8. When I added up those partial products, I know 40 plus 40 is 80. So 200 plus 80 plus 8 gave me 288. Now the distributive property will allow you to break apart one or both factors. We usually broke apart just one, but you can actually break apart more than one. So let's go ahead and dive into our guided practice. Since this is something we've done a couple times before, we don't need too many new examples for it. For our guided practice number 1, it says what 4 simpler multiplication problems are used to find 24 times 23. So if we have 24 times 23. The 4 that we're going to use, now if we drew this out, we're going to look at each place value. So let's go ahead and draw this out. Now they do have this drawn out in your book, which makes it a lot easier for you guys to see. But I will draw it out over here for you guys. So this side is 24, so that's going to be 20 plus 4, right? And this side is 23, so this is 20 plus 3 more. Now over here, we know inside we're going to have 20 times 20. This bottom is going to be 20 times 4. This is going to be 20 times 3, and this is going to be 4 times 3. So our four simpler multiplications, 20 times 20 is going to give us 400 because 2 times 2 is 4 plus those 2 zeros. 20 times 3, we know 2 times 3 is 6 plus that extra 0. 4 times 20, we know 4 times 2 is 8 plus that group of 10 makes it 80. And then 4 times 3 we know is 12. So now I need to find my partial products. I have my partial products. I need to put them together, right? I need to add them all together to find my answer. So I need to write them in place value order. And then I will put together the parts. 0 and 0 and 0 and 2 gives me 2. 6 plus 8 is 14, plus 1 more is 15. So I put my 5 and I carry my 1 extra on top. And then 1 plus 4 is 5. So I know that 24 times 23 equals 552. That's going to be my answer there. Now, let's go ahead onto the back and we're going to work through our second guided practice question for number 2. It says, how can an area model and the distributive property help you multiply 12 times 16? Explain. So remember. So we're going to use 12 times 16 as our example to explain how it's going to help us. I can use a distributive property. To break apart my factors. Into 10 plus 2 and 10 plus 6. Then I can use my area model to find my partial products. Last, I find the sum of my partial products to find my whole answer or my whole product. Okay, so if I have 12 times 16, I'm going to draw this out for you guys again because I do want you to be able to see. So this side is 12, and this side is 16. I'm going to break this apart into 10 plus 2, right? We distributed the 12 into 10 plus 2, just like we set up here. And this side we're going to distribute into 10 plus 6, just like we said right here. To make 16, we did 10 plus 6. To make 12, we did 10 plus 2. Now in here, we need to find our partial product. So this is going to be 10 times 10 to find this area. This part is going to be 10 times 6. This part is going to be 2 times 10. And this part is going to be 2 times 6. So let's start. 10 times 10 we know is equal to 100. 10 times 6 is equal to 60. 2 times 10 is equal to 20. And 2 times 6 is equal to 12. Now what do I need to do next? I need to add those together to find my partial product. So we're going to do 100 plus 60 plus 80 plus 12. Now I wrote them in place value order. 0 and 0 and 2 is 2. 6 and 8 we said is 14 plus 1 more is 15. So I put that and I carry my 1. And 1 and 1 is 2. So my answer over here is going to be 252. So 12 times 16 equals 252. Now I know that was a lot of work for this question, but I did want to make sure you guys fully understood how to solve it. All right, now for number 3, our last question. Number 3 says use the area model and distributive property to find 35 times 12. So in order to find this, they gave us the smaller parts that we need to do. So 30 times 10, 5 times 10, 30 times 2, and then 5 times 2. So we need to find those partial products first and then add them together. So 30 times 10 is 300. 3 times 1 is 3, plus those 2 zeros. 5 times 10 is 50. 30 times 2 is 60, because we know 3 times 2 is 6, and 5 times 2 is 10. Now the next part, we need to add our partial products. So something plus something plus something plus something is going to give us our final answer. We know those somethings are our partial products right here. So 300 plus 50 plus 60 plus 10. So if you're not sure what your answer is, you can always stack to find your sum. So 300, remember, right in place value order, you see how I've spread them out a little bit. That way I don't accidentally add the wrong place values together. Zero and 0 and 0 and 0 is 0. 5 plus 6 plus 1, that's the same thing as 6 plus 6. That's 12. I'm going to put my 2, carry my 1. 3 and 1 is 4. So I know that 35 times 12 is equal to 420. So I can fill in 420 up there. All right, that takes you to the end of your guided practice for this lesson, 4th grade. If you have any questions, please let me know. Otherwise, I hope you have an amazing day. Take care. Bye-bye.